Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Community Safety Committee. Thank you all for coming. And we do have two items on the agenda. We'll be introducing and many of you have met him already, Deputy Inspector Bruce Ceparano. Very, very busy. He's been out there in the community and, just very active. And we have other businesses. Deputy Inspector, the floor is yours.
Oh, hi, how are you? Yeah, so the event on Sunday was very nice. Thank you for having me. And I went a little bit later in the day. I think I missed you, Sean. Right? I think you were there early in the day. It was a crazy day that day for me too. But just a quick. I mean, it's not create too much stuff going on right now in 7-0. But the most high-profile thing regarding crime that just happened this last Friday. I'm sure you heard there was a shooting at the junction during school dismissal. It was definitely something, the detective squad still doing an investigation, but it was definitely something social media related because there were a lot of kids from Erasmus that showed up, during school dismissal. There was a large fight that ensued, like Avenue H and Flatbush. My YCOs were on scene. They were trying to break up the fight. They heard a loud pop, and then the victim, a 15-year-old, actually started stumbling down a block, and he was shot in his right kneecap. The investigation continues regarding that. What troubles me the most is that this happened with officers on scene. Two of my youth officers on scene. So it was a total disregard of the uniform presence. So because of that, because after I saw the video, they were at a really tactical disadvantage. Until the end of the school year, there's going to be about 6 to 8 cops during school dismissal in that whole junction area. Try to beef up the presence there because I don't want something like that happening. God forbid a bullet went flying. There's a lot of innocent people walking down the street. There were children. There were old, elderly people, and it really troubled me. So you're going to see a lot more presence during the school dismissal hours at the junction area regarding that. Other than that, we're up in crime. The whole borough is up in crime, but we are seeing a decrease in key areas. We're down in burglaries, we're down in stolen cars. We're up in robberies, but there's nothing really in the 7-0 precinct that is like a pattern. A lot of the robberies we have close to arrests. A lot of it's scattered throughout the precinct. A lot of it's domestic violence related. The shoplifting problem that was spiking when I first got it subsided so far. Because it was this one individual. I won't say the name now, but he shoplifted from Stop and Shop a second time and beat up one of the security guards, and they actually held him in on bail, which helped tremendously this time. So the shoplifting issue subsided. I just want to let you know. So the 7-0 precinct and 3 other commands in Brooklyn South, the chief gave us direction for like a pilot program, and it's probably gonna get spread through all 13 precincts. We just implemented last week. It's called a community response team with one sergeant and 5 police officers. I carefully vetted them all based on their discipline history. Talking to other supervisors in the precinct, looking at their enforcement history. Pretty much well-rounded sergeant and police officers. Their main goal, so they're gonna be working 6 at night to 2 in the morning, with Sunday, Mondays off, and their main purpose is to respond to complaints from the community that are precursors to violence. So what do I mean by that? When we see like 5, 6, 7, 8 through 1 calls at a location with 10, 15, 20 people outside barbecuing, fighting till all hours of the night, they're going to go there and pretty much not necessarily conduct enforcement, but correct the condition for the community. So this last weekend, they were out there. There were no issues. They responded to 301 jobs. They responded to 911 jobs. They were just observing some quality of life issues. People urinating in public, pretty much nuisances that the community just doesn't want to see. And I just wanted to give you a heads up that you're going to start seeing that team out there. The sergeant, like I said, and the police officers, they're very, very level-headed. They have strict orders to do this type of police work constitutionally. But on the other hand, there's going to be some enforcement taking place, double parked cars, things that really trouble the community. So I just wanted to give you an update, of what you're going to be seeing moving forward regarding this team. It's called the Community Response Team. So if you have any questions regarding that or anything I just said, please, I'm here.
Thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions for the inspector, for the deputy inspector? I can't see hands, Sean. Or Anya, can you see?
I got you, Florencia. It was a race, but I think Steve Cohen put his hand up and then Dwayne Joseph.
Okay.
Thanks, Sean.
Okay, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, thanks, Deputy Inspector, and it was good seeing you on Sunday as well as the week before at the dance. It's nice to see you out there at all these events locally. So thanks for that. I guess first I wanted to just mention since you took over, I really do appreciate how active the 70th Precinct is on social media. It's definitely been noticeable, and it shows that you guys are doing good work, and it's appreciated. I know that there was some social media buzz about illegally parked cars, and I think it was handled very quickly via social media, and so I think that's really good. But the other thing I wanted to raise was this issue with like temporary license plates. Because I know, and maybe not, I forgot if it was last summer or the summer before, but a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, but there were some shootings, and it seemed like the precinct had trouble finding the perpetrators because these fake temporary plates issue. So with the summer coming up and concern about shootings going up, I'm just wondering if there's any plans to like have a crackdown on temporary plates or ways to identify fake temporary plates by the precinct. Thanks.
Yeah. So Steve, actually those temporary plates we were talking about is actually really one of my biggest pet peeves. Even when I was on Staten Island in a 1-to-1, same issue I had there. We had drive-by shootings, and it was very hard to identify people, because cars weren't going back to their, plates weren't going back to the right cars, and it was a nightmare. So what we do is my public safety team, this new community response team, my NCOs, we have phone numbers to pretty much all the states that you see, especially like New Jersey, Texas. We have phone numbers to when we stop a car to see whether or not the plate is stolen or just forged or doesn't exist. So if it's a forged plate, we've been making numerous arrests for the people driving with these forged plates. If it's just an unregistered vehicle, we've been seizing cars, giving them summonses and bringing it back. And if it's a car that's just parked on the street, we've been just road towing it. So, I have a daily spreadsheet that I have the desk officer send me personally of all the temp tag related enforcement that's being done. And it also goes up to the borough. And and the borough consolidates that and goes to one police plaza. So temporary plates is on my mind 100%, and it's a daily effort by everybody. And it's on the borough's mind, and it's also in 1PP's mind, because obviously for obvious reasons, like you said, and honestly, what I've seen so far, it's actually slowing down. There are a lot of these places out there, but it's slowing down little by little, because there are a lot of people getting either arrested or summoned or cars just being confiscated. So, but I promise you, we're all on board when it comes to that.
Great, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Dwayne?
Thank you, Florencia. Thank you, DIS, for the work in the community. I can echo a lot of our sentiments that the work.
Dwayne, we're not hearing you.
I just wanted to. Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Dwayne, you are breaking up, but keep trying.
Sorry, I'm working on a low battery here, so forgive me about my connection. I wanted to two things. Just one, at the recent Cultural Affairs, Community Environment, Cultural Affairs, and Economic Development Committee, we had two wonderful reports from our bids and our community, our merchants associations. In their reports, they both highlighted that safety and crime are an issue for both residents and business owners. So I just wanted to, if you get an opportunity and can go back and look at those meetings, I'd encourage you to do so. It was very interesting information, especially from the bids in the area. So if you get an opportunity again, I'd encourage you to go back and watch watch that that meeting. The other thing I wanted to touch base with and just bring to your attention, like Steve said, there's been an increase in social media presence from the 7-0 since you've taken over. And I'm wondering if you guys can include in that increase in activity more information about your youth programs. I feel like the youth programs that the NYPD has are not amplified enough, and not enough parents know about them, not enough kids know about them. Is there anything you can do from the 7-0 position to amplify like the youth explorers, and the youth academies?
Absolutely. So yeah, we have this information available. Yeah, you're right. We haven't, we haven't been blasting it out as often as we should. So my crime prevention officer who takes care of the social media, she'll get the information from my YCOs, youth coordination officers, and we'll make sure we put it up, more frequently.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll put it, we have Facebook, Twitter, so it'll be on those platforms.
Okay. Thank
Nina,
you.
Nina
Before,
Subgir put her hand up, Florencia.
huh?
Nina Subgir has a hand up as well.
Okay, and after Nina, then I'm going to acknowledge the, okay, thank you. Thanks. Go ahead, Nina. Thank you.
If you want me to wait for you to acknowledge someone, I don't have a problem.
Okay, thank you. I just want to acknowledge Troy Olson from Councilmember Ina Benikoff's office, and Joe DeSuve from Councilmember Rita Joseph's office.
Thank you so much.
So speaking of social media, I don't want to be a party pooper here, but something that I see a lot, I don't know that I've seen anything from the 7-0, but I think it's just really important to be cognizant. Certainly some of the downtown precincts have been guilty of this, of officers with either like reflective things over their own personal car license plates, or defaced license plates and other kinds of things. And I think it's really important that the precinct and that our officers set an example by having, the correct legible license plates, and not, I guess, monkeying around with the system in that way. So I just think to be cognizant of that we want our officers to do as they want us to do. Thank you.
Sorry, Nina, I'm sorry, you mean they put it on social media?
Yeah, people have taken pictures of the personal cars owned by police in front of various precincts, showing the license plates that are, have been defaced or tampered with in some way, or that have those shields over them so that they can't be read properly and things of that sort. I haven't seen anything like that posted about the 7-0. I hope I never do, but I just think it's just kind of pass on to your officers that people are looking at these things and they should not be guilty of these infractions.
I can assure you that my integrity control officers, they're a lieutenant and a sergeant, they routinely check, walk around the precinct, they check officers' cars for this type of, those type of infractions, and so does the Brooklyn South investigations. They go to the commands and make sure that these plates, don't exist, because, so I can assure you, you're not going to see the 7-0.
Thank you. I'm
Cool.
very happy to hear that.
Okay. Thanks, Nina. Thanks, Deputy Inspector. Troy, would you like to address the, do you have any information from the council member's office?
I don't have a ton to say. It's my first week. I just got on board. The council member is throwing me right into the thick of things, and I wanted to jump onto this this evening. I guess I could just say a few things about my background. I'm an Army veteran, lawyer by training. I'm the new legislative director, but we'll be doing a lot of stuff in district too. So hopefully I'll see everyone around, and I plan to make these meetings regularly. My email is T Olson, that's OLSON And then the council convention, it's at council.nyc.gov. And yeah, if anyone has any questions, I just started yesterday, so my background's in law, a little bit in real estate, political campaigns, and then military service. Yeah, I last 4 years, I should say, I combated veterans homelessness in the city. I was really proud to do that. We have reduced it. It's going up generally, and that's a shame, but we did well. We've done well in certain areas with veterans. So regarding anything crime related, public safety related, I'm taking notes. I'll take it back to the councilwoman. And I'm happy to take a few questions if anyone has it. I'll do the best I can.
Is there anyone with their hands raised?
Oh, Troy, it looks like they're going to let you off easy tonight. But just know that you've got a really good team at the precinct, and we at the community board are here to partner in any way we can too. So looking forward to working with you.
Yeah. And I just want to say thank you for, helping with the homelessness for veterans, because we know a lot of veterans take their lives, and as one who feeds the homeless, I applaud you. Congratulations and welcome. Okay.
Good to be here.
Thank you. Joe, would you like to address, have you any messages for us, or, just want to greet?
First of all, I would say thank you for giving me the time to address you all. I'm glad to be here. Few things that I probably say, but I will put it on the group chat so you can see it. They are related to some of the bills that the councilwoman introduced. And then since public safety is something that is very important for us, so I'm here to listen to the common deputy inspector, Ceparano. So yeah, I would be just here to listen and then probably ask question about some like cars along Coney Island Avenue, abandoned vehicles. So people have been complaining about. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Joel. I have something I'd like to say. I just, in lieu of what we've heard, well, today I just saw in the news, I think they said that a teacher and 14 students were killed. I'm not sure if they were shot or they were killed in Texas. I'm not sure if everyone heard that, and the shooting that was on the train, a few weeks ago, and then on Sunday, and then at the junction, and with everything that is going on, and the summer hasn't even started. Is there anything that we're doing within our communities? Because we do know that we have some hot spots within our communities. And I just want to say that on the 14th of June, we'll be giving out fresh produce at the Church Ocean area. But is there anything that we're doing like precautionary wise? An ounce of prevention is like better than a pound of cure. Like, is there anything we can do?
Florencia, I actually forgot to mention the one thing that it actually took place started 2 weeks ago. So the chief of department's office identified the top 40 violent prone precincts citywide, and the 7-0 is one of those 40. Violent prone based on last year, the year before, shootings and stabbings and things like that. So what they did is the 7-0 precinct has 7 days a week. So the highest time of actual violence and crime citywide, and specifically the 7-0, is usually between 8 at night and like 2 in the morning. So 3 cars every single day, 7 days a week, are coming in at 8 o'clock. So there's 3 extra cars on the 4 to 12 shift out there with the turret lights on, in key locations where we tend to take violence in the 7-0 precinct. That's first of all. Second of all, in years past, almost every single year, the 7-0 precinct, along with other precincts, we have to lose some personnel to like details like Coney Island, Prospect Park, also details that's going on in the city. So the top 40 commands are not touched now for the rest of the summer for our personnel. So we're retaining whatever cops I have in the Seminole precinct. I'm not losing to outside details until after the summer's over. So what they're doing to replace that is they're taking a lot of inside people from One Police Plaza, all these like office gigs pretty much, and they're supplementing Coney Island detail, Prospect Park detail with that. So to answer to your question, I don't know if I really did, there's going to be a lot more resources than there was last summer on the streets, because they're giving us some overtime for pre-tour, overtime for the midnights, and they're not using our resources in other precincts where, and it was shorting our patrol staff. So we were identified as one of those precincts. I guess it's bad that we're identified as a violent provocation, but it's good that they're giving us the resources to hopefully go into the summer, and have less violence this summer. So.
Okay, thank you. That's good to know. We just want to be safe.
Absolutely. And they even have, I don't know if I was riding the trains on Friday. They have deputy inspectors and inspectors riding the trains to make sure that the officers are out there, on their posts as they should be. So there's a lot more supervision on the trains.
Okay, it's good to know. Well, okay, thank you.
Dwayne, is your hand up again, or did you have another question, or is that from before?
Yes, I do have another question. Actually an ask. On the Facebook page for the 70 precinct, I've been asking this for a couple of years. You'll see the 2 questions under that profile, under that those pictures actually are from me. You have maps of the different sectors in the district, all of the sectors except Sector A. Is there any way to get that map of Sector A posted? I asked only because I share those maps regularly on Facebook and on different social media platforms, and people actually find them very useful to know what sector they're in, because it actually gives them the boundaries. So is there any way to get the Sector A map up?
Yeah, we'll get it. Honestly, I learned something new every day. I didn't even realize that, Sector Adam wasn't on that Facebook map, but Lucy here, we'll get that up there.
So one of the things too is in NewYorkCity.gov and is buildablock.com. So when people live in different areas, school, different area, and work, go to that website, you plug in your address, it gives you the precinct, the sector, and the 2 cops that are concerned, their emails. So people do spread out through the city, so it's going to be different precincts. That's an easy way to do that as well. Plus, we'll put up these maps for you, okay?
Yeah, that's helpful, because people aren't as proactive as that, Scott. They don't, but they will, some of the things you post that you guys post on Facebook, I try to share it regularly with the community, and they respond more to those than, they respond to you guys taking cars off the road more than me posting the information about the precinct council meeting, unfortunately. But people respond to those a lot more, the images a lot more. I had one other thing, if I may. I noticed up in my section of the precinct, I'm on Woodruff Avenue, right off of Flatbush. You guys have a floodlight set up. I've had a couple of people ask me if I knew anything about it. I don't. They were wondering why it's there way before Labor Day, because they're used to having it during Labor Day. Are you able to comment on that?
I'm sorry, I missed the location for that one.
Woodruff.
Oh, Woodruff.
Yeah.
Woodruff and Flatbush, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, honestly, so it was there when I got here, but the light towers are in locations where we've taken violence. So, we have it there because in the past we've taken some shootings there. We also have 2 on Region Place, actually, 1 on Region like Flatbush, 1 on Region like Ocean. It's only because, just to be a little bit more proactive, just to keep the lighting, there.
No, that's fair. Just we're not used to them until like the weekend before Labor Day. So having it up, people have asked me because they know I'm involved in community. If I knew anything about it, and I didn't, so I was just asking.
Yeah, honestly, it's just an overabundance of caution. That's all it is. Nothing specific. You could let them know. All right.
All right. Thank you.
No problem.
And Florency, I don't see any other hands, but I have a question, if I may.
Go ahead, just Sean, sure.
Thanks. But first of all, some thanks. Thanks for managing all of Sunday's events. there was a barrage of them, and that was all well done. I appreciate it, and sorry that I missed you at the Church Avenue Street Fair. And I also wanted to thank you for the initiative that you took with the merchants, Inspector Ceparano, because that was, there's a lot of resources out there, but sometimes hearing directly from you kind of puts things into action. And I really appreciated your proactivity and taking that issue head on. And then also, I wanted to thank you for how much you've just been out there, and you're ubiquitous in the community, and that's appreciated. Nice to see you around. My question is, in terms of the community response team, I'm thinking ahead to 4th of July, because we might not be speaking like this again before that. And I'm wondering, because we do get loads of firework complaints, if that team, or if there's any other resources in place to maybe deal with the inevitable fireworks complaints we'll get. Thanks.
Yes. So this year, there's gonna be a lot of fireworks complaints. You will see a lot more enforcement this year than years past when it comes to fireworks. What I did in my last command, and I'm gonna do it here. I'm actually starting it this Memorial Day weekend. In addition to the community response team, in addition to my NCOs and public safety, I tour change a lot of my day tour officers onto the 6 at night to 2 in the morning and set up mobile response cars. And I pretty much task a supervisor and a rank of lieutenant in charge of these 311 calls to make sure that we're responding to it, and B, we're taking the appropriate enforcement action. So we're not going to be able to be in every single location, but the locations where we see, the most calls, 311s and 911s, you're going to see a lot more enforcement taking place. And so during those hours, I put the majority of my manpower, at nighttime and mobile response orders to combat that. So.
Great, thanks.
You're welcome.
Glenn Woolen and then Gail L. Smith had their hands up in that order.
Okay, go ahead, Glenn.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
Inspector Glenn Wolin, I met you at the Left Rank Center, which was a pleasure. My question has to do with electric bikes, motorbikes, and even what appear to be motorcycles that are unlicensed that seem to be everywhere these days and going in every which direction, paying no attention to the traffic laws, stop signs, traffic lights, etc. And I'm wondering if anything is being planned to do something about that. That's it. Thank you.
I mean, citywide, this is a citywide problem, obviously. We do enforcement on these bikes, as safely as possible. The problem is once we put the lights on and try to stop a lot of these individuals, they take off, and the last thing we want to do is, them get into a tragic accident or run over a kid. But I'll give you an example of what happened just on Sunday night. What I like to do is when I see these bikes either stopped at a red light or individuals just sitting on top of a bike that's unregistered, I like to, we try to jump. I don't want to say jump on the person, but we try to stop them safely when the bike is not in motion. So on Church and Ocean, we did exactly that. There was an individual sitting on an unregistered bike. We saw him actually on camera driving onto the sidewalk, and he stopped it. He didn't have a license. We brought him back to the precinct, and there was actually a loaded gun in the back of the bike. So we're taking proactive measures when it comes to these bikes. Unfortunately, a lot of these individuals carry guns on these bikes. So, we try to do the enforcement as safely as possible, and that's just an example, what we plan on doing. So.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Gail?
Yes, Deputy Inspector Ceparano, I would also like to thank you for your proactive involvement and presence in the 70th precinct and our community, the CB14 community. It's really a breath of fresh air just to hear everything that the 70th precinct is doing. So I want to thank you too.
Thank you again. Really, I do this because I enjoy it and I really do care. And you just see me out there all the time, and I do care. So thank you. Thank you, everybody, for the kind words.
Florencia, Nina has a hand up.
Okay, go ahead, Nina.
I'm unmuting, sorry. Yeah, I just wanted to say, vis-a-vis, First of all, I'm going to start with a question. Whose jurisdiction is Prospect Park? Once you get into the park as a whole, is that no longer the 7-0?
No, Prospect Park is the 7-8, but the parade grounds is the 7-0.
Parade grounds, that's the separation. Okay, because I was just going to say the big issue that Prospect Park is things that really look like motorcycles. I mean, they're huge and they're not supposed to be there. And they put pedestrians and legit people with things that can't be pedaled in danger. So just pass on the word, thanks.
Yeah, they have a whole detail in place. I was actually just talking to Captain Ceparano, he's the CEO of the 7-8 last night. He has a whole details, in place for the summer, and I'm sure bikes is one of his priorities.
As long as it's not the bicycles. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Thanks, Nina. And I want to say, Deputy Inspector Ceparano, that thanks also to your police officers, Detective Newsy. And I want to say that the mayor was very pleased to see your officers out there serving the community. And I want to say that the community has been, for residents on Regents and those on Ocean Avenue as well, have said that they've never had officers serve them, or and even with Officer Mosley last Tuesday, they were there speaking to her and just letting her know, just having like really sociable conversation. And a lot of them said that they've never had that because most of the time their interaction with the cops is either they're being arrested, something in that way. But this has been refreshing and different. And I do hope that we can have truly safer communities, and that our officers and our residents will be safe. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm blessed to have a great community affairs team. I'm not just saying because Scott's next to me. He just paid me $100 to say it, but I'll still say it.
Officer Joseph, and even Police Officer Osores is from crime prevention. She's there as well, and Nunez. They're usually all there.
They're outstanding, all four of them, and they're a great team. They really are.
Yes, they are.
Thank you, Valencia, for being there too when we need you for the street responses of everything we do.
Not a problem.
And Sean, for everything you do too, Sean. Can't leave you out.
Yes, we do thank Sean for helping us. Yes, and someone who's behind the scene, Anya. And Joanne. I see Joanne a lot of places as well. So it's good. We have a whole community that works together. Flatwood Bridge. I missed you guys on Sunday. I went to the street fair, but I didn't see you guys. So anyway, is there anyone else who have a question for the deputy inspector, or are we at?
I don't see any more hands, maybe, but since everybody has been enjoying the company of the inspector and the community affairs team, you might want to catch them again tomorrow night at the 70th Precinct Community Council meeting, which will be held in person at 175 Lawrence. It's the Adapt Community Network.
Thank you, Sean.
Spot. And then Scott, if you want to, Thursday night, then, if you still just can't get enough, Thursday night is the Build a Block meeting with Sector Adam, and I believe is it at Toro College?
That is at Toro College, Avenue J and Ocean Avenue building, the newer building. And I know there's a conflict. I think there's something else going on at the same time. I'm not sure.
Not everybody will be there. Yeah.
I'm going to try to go to the second event. I don't know.
All right, very good. Steve Cohen put his hand up.
Okay, Steve, go ahead.
Thanks. Just because we're on this subject, I happened to look at the website for Build the Block, and I saw that Sector B, which I guess is more centrally horizontal part of the district, that is coming up June 15th at the Flatbush YMCA at 7 p.m. So if anyone else is in Sector B, figured I'd just throw that out there. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Steve.
Thank you for doing my job, everybody. I appreciate it.
So, oh, you just set yourself up, but I'll refrain.
Let it go. Let's get the one off. It's all right.
No other hands.
Okay, so that being said, we'll move on to other business. And thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, 7-0. Lindsay, there was nothing that came to our attention under other business. So if anybody has something that they wish to raise now in the under the sort of purview of community safety, you've got a co-chair listening, and the district office is here.
Right.
Great meeting, Florencia. Thank you.
Thank you, Gail. We miss my co-chair. But
Yeah, I'll just pass.
Great meeting.
Abe got stuck at work with something unexpected, so he did extend his apologies. He was going to try to find a computer to get on, but unfortunately didn't make it. But you're a good solo act, Florencia. You did well. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Well, I have a team right here. Thanks, Deborah.
I just wanted to actually say thank you, Sean and Anya, and also I forgot to mention the 7-0. Like, we had these two major marathons in the area
Oh, yeah.
recently, and I think, you know, in getting the word out and getting the information out, I just wanted to, I forgot to thank the inspector and the officers for the work they did. So I just wanted to put it on the record on the video, because up here on our end, in the past it's been a little bit of a nightmare. But this year was really smooth and straightforward.
Yes, yes. Dwayne, did you attend the street fair on Sunday?
Unfortunately, I did not. I had to work this entire weekend, so I was not able to attend much. I've been working the last 2 weekends, and I have to work again this Memorial weekend. So I have not been able to attend any of the fun stuff going on in the district.
And for those who are on here now, on June 12th, they will be having the Flatbush bid street fair. So come on out. And that being said, is there anything else anyone else would like to add or say?
Looking good.
Okay, Sean, is that it? We're all straight. We're out early.
Yeah, I'll just say, this really, I believe, Florencia, this was our 4th attempt this year to schedule a commanding officer to address the board, which we do at least once a year, but with the different shifts in personnel and timing and all of that, we finally did it.
Yes.
So thanks for your patience with all of our scheduling trials and tribulations, but I'm really glad that we were able to bring the commanding officer of the 7-0 before the committee finally.
Yes, I'm glad to. Thank you, Sean, for your efforts. And he's very sociable. He's out there. He's everywhere. So.
Yeah, nice guy.
Yeah, he is.
Hard worker. We're in good hands, it seems.
He is. So thank you, everyone. So
thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Can we
Meeting
adjourn
ending with
now?
the sun still up. That's cool.
Right? Can go out to the park or to your backyard, whichever you choose. All right. Okay, good night. Oh, are we adjourning? Motion to adjourn? Or we don't need to motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Thanks, Gail.
Motion seconded.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dwayne. All righty. Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Be safe, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Yes. All righty. Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night. Good night.